Hey everybody, I'm Ben.
I'm the Boomer and special guest today.
This is
Got,
Mac.
got the Mac Man rolling in with us too. So yes, indeed. So it's been a little bit, but kind of been waiting for the news to catch up with us. So it finally did. So we're here. So we've got some stuff to do with all of you. So first thing,
I'll start her off. Some big news. We're getting out of Afghanistan finally. Biden went ahead and said we'd be out by September 11th, 2021. So the longest war in American history. It's going to be 20 years by the time we get everybody out of there.
$2 trillion.
$2 trillion. Yep, couple of $1 trillion. Roughly 2,000 American soldiers dead, and the least important number, 100,000 Afghanistan civilians killed or severely, life-changingly wounded. It's nice Biden's getting us out of there. It was less nice that he got us in there in the first place, and we have accomplished almost nothing. But McConnell says this is a grave mistake, so you know it's probably a good one at least.
Wait, didn't Trump first propose this before he left? That
He did, and the deadline is May 1st, but Biden decided that we needed more time, so I guess we're pulling out later, but at least we're still pulling out, and it's just good that Biden didn't keep us in there for longer.
Did McConnell complain when Trump said it, too?
I don't know, actually.
I don't think he
did. But I'm pretty sure McConnell and Biden both voted for it in the first place, so
true.
At least Biden's getting us out of there.
Yeah.
So that's that, and then more in world news. We have India. We're delving a little bit into them. They are the country that has been hit the second hardest after America by the coronavirus. Obviously, per person, it's a lot lower than America because they have a significantly larger population. But they're really starting to freak out. As far as death counts go, they're at 14.5 million, or not death counts, I'm sorry, just recorded COVID cases, which puts them very far behind America's 32 million, but they are still second place. And it's been hitting them hard lately. They've had 8 days in a row of record high cases of corona. So each day just keeps breaking the record of the most people infected in one. Yep. So yesterday, actually, it was 234,692 new reported cases. And so there's a couple of cities or a couple of places that they're doing a few things with. One is the state of Uttar Pradesh, which has 240 million people living within it. And
I've got a summer home in Uttar.
Yeah. So you'd be good to know that they are taking it very seriously, and they are shutting that state down today. Just for Sunday.
Wow.
For one day. So that's shut down. And then New Delhi, which just overtook Mumbai as the worst hit city, is being even more serious with it, and they are shutting the city down for this weekend.
Wow. Because the virus disappears in 2 days.
And and so they're just skyrocketing, but hopefully they're taking some new precautions. So hopefully the day or two that everybody's they're shut down for sorts that all out.
Like that.
And finally here, a little bit later news, we have a new Lord of the Rings show coming to Amazon. I'm sure a couple of you guys already knew that. But just a couple of fun facts about it. It is being released on Amazon, and it is going to be the most expensive season of television ever made in the history of mankind.
Wait, this is not the Russian one, is it?
This is not the new Russian or the newly released Russian Lord of the Rings. No.
That's good. All right.
So for a little context, I don't know if you guys have all seen Game of Thrones, but that for a season cost roughly $100 million a season. So the first season of this Game of Thrones show is going to cost $465 million for the first season.
Of the Lord of the Rings.
Of the Lord of the Rings, new Lord of the Rings Amazon.
It's worth it.
That is a crazy amount of money. According to Paste Magazine, that's actually, for this one season, that's roughly 16,030 regular employees' median salary for this one show, which is crazy. I mean, the median salary for an Amazon worker is about $29,000 a year. Or if you want to look at this a different way, it's 0.0026% of Jeff Bezos' net worth, which is $177 billion.
Hope they all get a t-shirt.
So hopefully Bezos is paying for this thing entirely out of his own pocket, and maybe we can throw some money to just the regular Amazon workers. But that's about all I have for this week.
Wow.
So there you go.
Yeah. Well, and we're back to our weekly feature, Chock full of nuts. And this just looks at the absurdity in Washington, D.C. And I couldn't help myself but focus on everybody's least favorite letter right now, the Q. I wonder what they would do on Sesame Street with that these days. I don't know. But, the whole Q scam is that, all these Democrats have a sex ring going on and all this and this. Slow down here, people. What's actually in the news is some of these fine Republican upstanding people here. We've got obviously Trump's favorite lapdog, Matt Gaetz, who Trump loves, or at least proclaimed that he did when he was helping him with the election. He's like up and coming superstar. We've got our lovely Joel Greenberg here with obviously Roger Stone, another upstanding member who Trump pardoned, even though he was guilty of several, federal crimes, but that's okay. These guys, they're all running teenage sex rings. And wait, but who does this bring us down to? Here's Trump with his buddy, Jeffrey Epstein, and the lovely Ghislaine Maxwell, who is the one that brought the women, the underage women, in to the first place for Trump and other Republicans and other people. So I think Q's looking in the wrong place. I honestly do. I think they're looking at the wrong party. I don't know who Q is. It's Matt Grace. That's why we brought him in this week. He's cute.
Yeah.
So he's gonna. But just the irony of all this. They've been all about everything, and even Epstein. Like, how did he actually die? Like, he was on suicide watch.
Didn't he kill himself?
He hung himself.
Yeah.
Even though he was under incredible suicide watch. But yet there was a window of, I can't remember how long it was, 45 minutes or an hour, where nobody checked on him, even though there were cameras there. It just so happened that before he could talk too much about all of these fine individuals and a bigger group, he's dead. So I think Q's looking in the wrong place. That's my opinion, too.
That takes me on to my guest segment.
Yes.
Chock full of rogueleak. Animal welfare officers in the city of Krakow, Poland, received reports of a strange and disturbing animal presence in a residential area, causing citizens to keep their doors locked and windows shut.
Oh, my goodness.
Authorities suspect that a new mutation of the COVID-19 virus could be impacting native wildlife.
Ooh, wow.
Officers geared with protective equipment launched an investigation of the scene to find that the creature in question was none other than a buttery, flaky croissant. At this time, authorities have restricted access to the area until they can verify whether this croissant has received its second dose of the Pfizer vaccine.
Nice. At least they didn't get the Johnson & Johnson,
No.
so that's good. So, wow, the croissant, yeah. Well, I wanted to follow up that fine piece of bakery news with a little segment I'm calling On Target. Here is our lovely John Kennedy, named after, ironically, one of our great presidents. This guy's not so great. And then, of course, the resident Senator POS, Ted Cruz. And both of these guys are just wonderful with the fact that as people are dying in gun violence, these guys poo-poo it all. Ted Cruz goes right to the way, right to it. As soon as something happens like this, which has occurred over and over and over and over again, he goes right for the fact that the Dems are trying to take away everybody's guns, because that's really basal and very low-hanging fruit. And then I loved Kennedy's thing about which he retracted right away, that it should be treated like drunk driving.
Yeah.
But that would be great. That would be a great starting place if we actually treated gun ownership like car ownership, and we treated people that were mismanaging guns like drunk drivers. In other words, we'd have a license, you would have training, We would have renewals. We could have it taken away if they didn't act right. We could have it suspended. We could have them taken away if they did something stupid. Yes, please. Please. Let's treat guns like a car license. Let's, he was worried about all the killings from cars. Yeah.
I agree. And if I were driving drunk with my gun, I would suspect to be penalized fairly for each of those.
Yes, separately.
Separately
Right.
and together.
But I was only tagged for expired tags.
And they should put a tag on your gun, right? Oh, that would drive people crazy.
Yeah.
When does that gun expire? I don't know. But what I found out though was in last year in 2020, in the United States, there were 19,380 deaths from gun violence. 19,380, and that was during lockdown. Okay. In Japan, by the way, has basically the Second Amendment right. You have the right to have guns in Japan. They had less than 10 deaths on average over the last decade. 10 deaths per year. What do they do differently? They have required training. They have background checks. They have mental health checks. Okay, so we're on already in 2021. We've had 147 mass shootings in the United States already this year. 147. We were just talking, it's like, how many have we heard about? Maybe 3 or 4.
Man, these were a big topic before COVID, but now it seems like
Yeah,
flying under the radar.
right. 147.
Well, I think the other thing that Japan really has going for it is that there are no Republican base in Japan. And I feel like that definitely is, hurts America as far as the gun violence, because when's the last time you ever heard of somebody who's a mainstream either Republican or Democrat voter just down the line, or anybody on the left or the far left being part of a mass shooting? It's always a very far right person holding far right views and also coincidentally holding a gun when it happens.
Now, I did take 2 years of Japanese class in high school,
Yes.
so I'm not very familiar with it. But my understanding is that there is no letter Q in their alphabet.
That also might help. Japan's just got a lot of things going for it
Or
on
not
the gun
going for
violence
it, too,
front.
yeah. Exactly. But I just couldn't. I was just shocked by that news, and it's just like, what is it finally going to take? What is it finally going to take for our legislator to do what the overwhelming percent of citizens want to have done, which is like just reasonable. We're not talking about take everybody's guns away. We're talking about license them. Don't have trade shows where you can just walk in without getting checked. Have mental health checks. Don't, have a waiting period for guns. These are not crazy ideas. But the leading terrorists right now are white males. They are the terrorists of our country right now.
I can't tell you how many things I have decided not to buy through Amazon because I knew I'd have to wait a week to get them. So I'm sure if we had a waiting list for guns,
Yeah.
I know I'd change my mind.
Yeah. Or you just have 3 people vouch for you. Like, you get
Witnesses.
character witnesses, or even if somebody said, "Hey, so and so's like kind of nuts right now," maybe I don't know. Think about that more. But all right, one last thing. A little bit of good news. Can't really read it too well, but congratulations to us. Over 200 million people have been vaccinated in our country, of 340 million. Yay, that's some good news. That's the step to get back to normal. What are you guys most looking forward to? Getting
My vaccine.
So, yeah.
You guys aren't on schedule yet? Because I'm a boomer, so they got us old folks covered. What's your situation?
I did the responsible thing and put myself on a wait list.
You didn't just dress up as an old person?
I tried that first. Didn't fly. I did get a notification that my time had come to receive my vaccine, and when I attempted to book my appointment, I was informed that everything excuse me, that there were no availabilities for me to get the shot. So I don't entirely understand whether this wait list is functional. Although I do suspect I will have to get to a point where, I don't know, maybe after this we can talk about me borrowing some clothes.
I have not been even contacted to begin the process.
Which
of
is
getting
strange because
vaccinated.
you're like in the food industry and you're handling everybody's food, and it would seem like unnatural where
They just come in every day and notice that I'm always got that mask on.
Yeah.
Should I not
Yeah.
have eaten at your store?
No, you can eat there.
no, just ignore the cough. Just ignore the cough. That's all right. Well, I'm Boomer,
I'm Ben.
And I'm Mac.
and thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. All right,
Adios.
adios.
How do we start?